Hey guys, tonight we're stepping into the desert night, where the sands whisper secrets and the stars shine like ancient torches. Imagine the world of Egypt thousands of years ago, when the Nile carried both life and mystery through the land, and every breath of wind over the dunes seemed to carry the voices of gods. This isn't the Egypt of crowded markets or blazing sun. Tonight, we walk beneath a sky so wide and deep it feels like an endless sea of black velvet, each star flickering like a lantern hung in eternity. The moon leans low, pale and steady, pouring silver across the river's dark surface. The air is cool now. The heat of the day has drained into the sand, leaving the desert hushed, as though the world is holding its breath. Torches burn at the edges of stone temples, their light flickering against towering columns. Smoke from incense drifts upward in delicate curls, the fragrance of resin and herbs lacing the night with calm. You hear the soft rhythm of water lapping the Nile's banks, a sound as old as memory itself, steady and soothing. Take a moment to notice the stillness. The dunes rise like sleeping giants. The palm trees near the water barely stir. Far away, the faint cry of a night bird echoes, then disappears into the silence. It feels as though time itself has slowed, each moment stretching gently, as if urging you to breathe more deeply, to let go of the day behind you. Tonight, we are entering the realm of the eternal, the realm of the pharaohs, who believed that death was not an end, but a passage. Their tombs were not built as graves, but as gateways, carefully designed to carry their souls into the afterlife. And guarding one of these tombs, hidden in shadow and silence, is a creature unlike any other. A cat sleek, black as polished obsidian, eyes gleaming with an inner flame, moves with quiet grace across the stone steps. The priests have chosen it, not by chance, but by ritual. They believe the cat carries within it the spirit of Bastet, the goddess who protects the home and the sacred. It is no ordinary animal, but a living guardian, chosen to keep watch over the pharaoh's eternal sleep. As we walk closer, the torches tremble in the breeze, and the scent of the desert fills the air, dry, earthy, with a trace of cool stone. The cat pauses, tail flicking softly, ears tuned to sounds too faint for us to hear. It knows the path ahead. It knows the silence that waits beyond the threshold. The priests bow their heads as the cat slips into the tomb's entrance. The glow of the outside torches fades, replaced by the dim shimmer of oil lamps set deep within. Each step feels slower now, each breath softer. The world narrows to shadows and faint echoes, to the faint rustle of sand beneath paws, and the quiet hum of the night. And as we follow, the air around us thickens, not heavy, not stifling, but steady, ancient, protective. We are stepping into a story written long ago, a story that moves at the pace of the desert wind and the Nile's eternal current. Tonight, you will drift with it, gently, calmly, as sleep comes closer with every word, every image, every breath. So, settle deeper. Feel the stillness of this desert night. Let the stars above guard you, as the cat guards the pharaoh. Let the torches glow. Let the river's current soothe you, and allow the hush of ancient Egypt to wrap around you like a cloak. Tonight begins the watch of the cat who guarded the pharaoh's tomb. In the cool quiet of the temple, the priests gather. Their white linen robes ripple faintly in the night breeze, their movements deliberate, calm, and full of reverence. They speak little, for their duty tonight is sacred. Before them stands the entrance to the pharaoh's resting place, carved deep into the earth, its walls painted with the story of a life that was meant to outlast death. The lamps they hold cast long shadows across the stone, shadows that bend and flicker as though they too are alive, keeping vigil. At the center of this gathering lies a ritual of choosing. Not every creature may guard a pharaoh. The task requires purity, balance, and a touch of the divine. For the Egyptians, cats were not simply animals. They were protectors, embodiments of grace, hunters of shadows, and companions of the gods. To watch over the Pharaoh's eternal slumber, only the most perfect of cats would suffice. From the shadows, a figure emerges, sleek, black-coated, its eyes gleaming green-gold in the torchlight. The cat walks not as a creature called by men, but as if it has always known it belongs here. Its steps are silent, soundless even on the stone floor, and yet each one echoes in the hearts of the gathered priests. They bow their heads, murmuring prayers to Bastet, goddess of protection and of home. One of the eldest priests, his voice thin as the desert wind, lifts a hand and speaks. He tells of Bastet's blessings, of the ancient belief that cats walk between the worlds of the living and the dead, seeing what human eyes cannot. This cat, chosen by fate itself, will become the silent guard, the living sentinel against unseen dangers, against spirits that wander, against anything that might disturb the Pharaoh's passage to eternity. The cat pauses before the altar. Upon it rests a small offering, a dish of milk, a strip of roasted fish, and a garland of papyrus reeds. The offerings are not merely food, but symbols: the milk for purity, the fish for strength, the reeds for eternity. With the smallest tilt of its head, the cat steps forward, tastes, and then curls its tail around its body. The priests see this as a sign, acceptance. The ritual is complete. The guardian has been chosen. Incense thickens the air, a cloud of sweet resin and burning myrrh. The smoke curls upward, tracing invisible patterns in the night. The priest chants softly now, not loud hymns, but gentle prayers, steady and slow, their rhythm like a lullaby. The sound blends with the sighing of the desert wind outside, and together they weave a cocoon of calm around the tomb. The cat sits still, poised upon the steps of the tomb, its gaze fixed into the dark corridor beyond. It does not blink often. It does not shift restlessly. Its stillness is profound, like that of the statues that line the temple walls. Yet there is life within its stillness, a pulse of alertness, of watchfulness, of quiet power. The priests, their duty done, step back one by one. Their robes trail softly along the floor as they retreat, leaving behind only the glow of oil lamps and the faint trace of incense. Now the cat is alone, yet not alone, for it carries with it the prayers of men, the blessing of Bastet, and the unseen weight of eternity. The desert outside sighs, the Nile flows, the torches flicker lower, and in the hush of that temple night, the Pharaoh's guardian begins its watch. The threshold of the tomb waits, like the mouth of a great sleeping beast, silent, dark, and endless. The stone lintel above is carved with hieroglyphs that glimmer faintly in the lamplight, stories etched for eternity. To pass beneath them is to step out of the world of breath and into the world of silence. The cat pauses for a moment, tail swaying like a slow pendulum, and then it moves forward, unhurried, certain, as though the shadows themselves part for its passage. Inside, the air shifts. It is cooler here, stiller, as though untouched by the thousands of days that have passed since the Pharaoh's burial. The faint smoke of incense lingers even underground, threading through the halls like a memory. Oil lamps, placed carefully in niches along the wall, cast a glow that trembles like liquid gold. Their flames lick upward, but make no sound. The silence is vast, so complete that each step of the cat seems amplified: the soft pad of paw against stone, the faint whisper of claws against grit. Hieroglyphs stretch along the walls, vibrant even in the dimness. They tell stories of conquest and triumph, of gods lifting the Pharaoh into their company, of eternity granted as a promise. Painted figures march along the stone, frozen mid-step for thousands of years. The cat passes beneath their gaze, eyes catching the faint shimmer of gold inlaid into crowns and ankhs. For a moment, it seems as though those painted eyes follow the guardian's progress, as though the cat is walking not alone, but observed by the painted souls of history. The corridors narrow, then open again into chambers, where treasures gleam beneath cloth and dust. The cat pauses here, nose twitching, sensing the faintest traces of oils, perfumes, and the wood of sealed chests. Rich offerings rest in silence, golden cups, alabaster jars, lapis beads strung together like fragments of the sky. No hand will touch them again, for they belong to eternity, to the Pharaoh's journey. The cat circles once, then slips deeper still, its body disappearing into shadows where light grows faint. The deeper the tomb, the thicker the air feels, not oppressive, but weighted with centuries of reverence. It is as if every stone here has absorbed the prayers of those who built it, every surface echoing with the hum of devotion. The cat moves with the patience of water flowing downstream, unhurried, steady, eternal. At times, the silence seems broken, yet not by sound. A feeling, like the faint brush of presence, stirs the air. The cat's ears flick back, then forward again. It does not fear. It does not retreat. Instead, it presses onward, its emerald eyes glowing faintly in the half-light. It was born to walk this line between seen and unseen, between the realm of the living and that of the eternal. Deeper still, a doorway looms. Beyond it lies the Pharaoh's chamber, the heart of the tomb, the place where time has come to a standstill. The cat pauses before crossing. Its tail curls around its feet as it sits for a long moment, gazing at the carvings etched above the entry. Sun, river, falcon, throne, symbols of eternity, symbols of the divine order, Mrot, the balance that holds heaven and earth in harmony. With a flick of its tail, the cat rises again. It does not hurry. It does not hesitate. One silent step after another, it passes beneath the stone arch and into the chamber of the Pharaoh, where the eternal sleep awaits. The chamber of the Pharaoh opens wide like the heart of the tomb itself. The air is cooler here, almost sweet, with the faint perfume of oils sealed long ago in alabaster jars. The walls are alive with color despite the centuries, painted in deep reds, ochres, and blues, scenes of a life both human and divine. The cat steps softly, its paws leaving no trace, and yet the silence of the chamber seems to hum around it, as though each brush of fur against the air awakens a memory. On one wall, the Pharaoh rides in triumph, chariot wheels spinning as hearts surge forward, painted in swift lines that still pulse with motion. Another shows him seated upon a throne, wearing the double crown of Upper and Lower Egypt, flanked by gods whose forms blend human and animal. The cat pauses, gazing upward, eyes glinting like polished jewels in the flicker of lamplight. It seems to listen, as though the painted scenes whisper. Perhaps they do. For in this place, history does not rest, it breathes, it lingers, it watches. Treasures surround the sarcophagus at the chamber's center. Golden figurines of falcons and lions glint in the half-light. Their surface is smooth as flowing water. Jewelry lies in careful order. Strings of turquoise and lapis lazuli like fragments of sky and river woven together. Each item is a prayer in physical form, a gift meant to guide and comfort the Pharaoh in eternity. The cat walks among them without disturbing a single piece. Its movements are too fluid, too certain, as if it belongs more fully to this place than any human ever could. It pauses beside a chest bound in bronze, where carved lotus flowers bloom across its surface. The faintest scent of cedar wood rises from it, mingled with the dust of ages. The cat lowers its head, listening. Nothing stirs, and yet the silence feels full. The walls seem to breathe with the echoes of voices long gone, builders singing as they laid the stone, priests chanting during the burial rites, mourners weeping softly in the temple above. All of these sounds have vanished into memory, and yet here, deep underground, they still seem to linger like vibrations caught in stone. The cat sits, curling its tail around its body. Its gaze fixes upon the great sarcophagus itself, resting at the center of the chamber, carved of stone darker than night. Its sides glow faintly in the lamplight, inscribed with words meant to protect and guide the pharaoh's soul. The lid is smooth, heavy, unmovable, a final seal between this world and the next. The cat does not approach too closely yet. Instead, it lingers at the edge, watching, waiting. Its ears flick forward at the faint crackle of a torch. The flame leans against the still air, its light brushing across hieroglyphs that tell of eternity, of the journey through the underworld, of reunion with the gods. Time here does not pass in the way it does outside. The chamber feels suspended, caught between heartbeat and breath, between one moment and the next. The cat, too, becomes part of that suspension, a still figure within stillness, its body a shadow curled among treasures, its eyes reflecting stories carved thousands of years ago. And in this silence the pharaoh's life seems to echo his triumphs, his prayers, his hopes for immortality, all carried now in the hush of the chamber, and in the steady watch of the guardian who has claimed this place as its own. The night deepens, though within the tomb it is impossible to measure time. Outside, the stars turn slowly, silently, in the desert sky. Inside, the air is unmoving, suspended like water in a sealed vessel. And at the heart of this timeless space, the cat begins its vigil. It chooses its place with care, not directly upon the sarcophagus, not yet, but close enough to sense the weight of what it guards. It settles at the base of a golden shrine, its body curling into a crescent of quiet strength. The glow of the oil lamps flickers across its sleek black coat, so that its fur seems to shift between shadow and light. Its eyes, half-lidded, catch the faint shimmer of gold, and yet its gaze never dulls. Even in rest, it watches. There are no intruders here, no threats to disturb the pharaoh's eternal sleep. And yet the vigil is not empty. The cat's stillness itself is the guard. Its breathing, soft and steady, seems to echo through the chamber, like a second heartbeat joining with the pulse of the tomb. Each rise and fall of its chest is unhurried, calm, ancient, as though the creature is not merely alive, but part of the eternal stone itself. The silence is thick, but within it, small sounds bloom. A torch crackles faintly. Dust shifts in the tiniest trickle, falling from stone carved thousands of years ago. Somewhere deeper in the earth, the faintest groan of settling rock sighs, like a voice long forgotten. The cat's ears twitch, attentive, acknowledging every sound. It does not move, but it hears, it remembers. Time passes strangely here. Minutes stretch into hours, hours into something longer, until the measure of time dissolves entirely. The cat remains, poised in patience, untroubled by the long watch. It was not chosen for speed, nor for strength, but for presence. Its very being fills the chamber with an unseen barrier, a shield woven from silence and stillness. When it blinks, slowly, its eyelids lower and rise with the gentleness of desert winds across the Nile reeds. When it shifts, it does so with the grace of a shadow sliding across stone. These small movements are not signs of weariness, but rhythms, reminders that life lingers even in the chamber of the dead. If one were to sit beside it, to close their eyes and breathe in the cool stillness of the tomb, they might feel their own heartbeat slow to match its pace. They might feel their breath become softer, steadier, in tune with the silence. The cat teaches without teaching, simply by being. The treasures around it remain untouched, glittering faintly, their beauty for no eyes, but those of gods. The painted walls continue their stories, silent witnesses to the vigil, and the sarcophagus rests, heavy and eternal, its stone surface absorbing the hush. In this way, the cat keeps watch not by fighting, not by moving, but by anchoring the chamber in calm, in silence, in balance. Its vigil is not an action, but a presence, unbroken and unending, and so the hours deepen. The cat remains, still and steady, while the world above continues to turn, while the desert breathes in its sleep, while the Nile flows on as it always has. Beneath it all, in the chamber of eternity, the cat keeps its watch. Outside the tomb, the desert drapes itself in layers of silence. The stars glimmer above the dunes, pale fires scattered across the black expanse of the sky. The wind stirs only now and then, brushing faint ripples into the sand, carrying with it the distant cry of a jackal or the flutter of a night bird's wings. The Nile, though unseen here, still flows slow, patient, eternal, its current like a steady breath beneath the land. But deep within the Pharaoh's tomb, all is quieter still. The heavy stone walls seal out the world, enclosing the chamber in calm. The faint glow of oil lamps softens further, their flames bowing gently, their light painting the treasures in golden haze. What was once sharp gleam now softens to warmth, as if the tomb itself has begun to drowse. The cat has not moved far. It shifts its position only once, rising with a slow stretch, arching its back like a bow drawn with infinite patience. Then it walks across the chamber with measured grace, tail held low, paw soundless. It pauses at the sarcophagus now, placing itself beside it, as though settling into the very heart of its duty. With a soft curl, it lies down, pressing its body close to the stone, and closes its eyes halfway. The sound it makes is faint, almost imperceptible, a low, steady purr, like the hum of distant earth. In this sound, the chamber itself seems to settle, the walls that echo with painted history, the treasures that glimmer in the shadows, the carved stone of the sarcophagus all seem to breathe in time with the cat's rhythm. A presence spreads through the chamber, gentle but profound, as though the purr is weaving a thread of calm into every corner. Outside, time continues. The moon glides slowly toward its zenith. Sand shifts against stone walls. The desert cools further, its breath cold and clear. But within the tomb, time grows heavy, slow, almost absent. The chamber holds its stillness like a vessel holds water. If one were to sit here and listen, they would hear nothing sharp, nothing sudden. Only the faint hiss of oil in the lamps, the slow crack of settling stone, the even sound of the cat's breathing. The heart begins to match it. Slowing in quiet rhythm, thoughts soften, dissolving into silence. The body releases its weight to the earth, just as the Pharaoh released his spirit to eternity. The cat opens its eyes briefly, pupils wide, catching the faint glimmer of the lamplight. It watches the chamber once more, unhurried, untroubled, then lowers its head upon its paws. The torchlight dims, as though in sympathy, the flames bowing lower, their glow no more than faint halos on the walls. The chamber is almost dreamlike now. The paintings of gods and kings seem less like images and more like shadows cast by memory itself. The treasures shine faintly as though lit from within, and the sarcophagus, massive and still, feels less like stone and more like a heartbeat frozen in rest. The night deepens outside, and within the tomb, the silence grows deeper still. Yet through it all, the guardian remains. The cat breathes, purrs, and watches, anchoring the tomb in calm. Its presence binds together darkness and light, silence and sound, life and eternity. The vigil does not falter. The watch does not end. In this deepening night, the Pharaoh's rest is absolute, and the guardian ensures it remains so. The chamber is quiet, yet within the quiet there is movement, a stirring not of air but of presence. The cat lies curled against the sarcophagus, its eyes closed now, but its body alert in stillness. Its purr deepens, flowing steady and low, a sound that seems to vibrate not only through stone, but through the very silence itself. It is in this rhythm that the whispers begin, not voices as humans know them, but impressions, threads of sound woven into the air. A murmur that feels as old as the desert, as soft as the river's current. They rise and fall like the sigh of reeds in the wind, indistinct yet full of meaning. The cat's ears flick, attuned. To human ears there would be nothing, only the faint crackle of oil lamps. But to the guardian, the tomb is alive. The gods speak not with words, but with echoes, with feelings, with the hush of eternity pressing against the walls. A faint shimmer passes across the painted hieroglyphs. Figures of Horus, falcon-headed, seem to lean closer. Isis, with her wings outstretched, glows faintly in the flicker of torchlight. Osiris, lord of the afterlife, stands tall among the painted images, his gaze unwavering. These are not movements of the stone, but the breath of imagination easing the weight of the divine. The whispers tell of Balancemorot, the harmony that holds the world together. They speak of protection, of guardianship, of the eternal bond between the living and the dead. The cat does not answer with words, but with presence. Its body remains calm, its purr steady. In that sound, in that stillness, it gives its reply, a vow of endless watch, a promise woven into the silence. The chamber grows dreamlike, the air feels softer, thicker, as if infused with the weight of prayer. Shadows shift across the treasures, their golden surfaces gleaming, as though touched by unseen hands. The sarcophagus, heavy and still, hums faintly with resonance, as though the Pharaoh himself is listening. The cat rises slowly, stretching with fluid grace, and walks once around the chamber. Its paws touch each corner, brushing the edges of shadow. At every step, the whispers follow, gentle, reverent, protective. It is as though the gods themselves trail behind it, weaving a circle of blessing around the tomb. When it returns to the sarcophagus, it does not curl immediately into rest. Instead, it sits upright, tail wrapped neatly around its paws, head lifted as though in communion. The oil lamps gutter faintly, their flames bowing low, yet the light does not vanish. It lingers, steady enough to illuminate the guardian's form, casting it in gold-edged shadow. The whispers begin to fade, dissolving back into silence, but the peace they leave behind remains. The chamber feels sealed, not just by stone, but by prayer. The Pharaoh sleeps, undisturbed, the treasures rest, untouched, and the cat, chosen by the priests and blessed by Bastet, now carries within it the voice of God, soft, steady, unseen, yet eternal. At last, the guardian lowers itself again, beside the sarcophagus. Its purr resumes, faint and low, but now it feels different, deeper. No longer just the sound of a living creature. It has become the heartbeat of the chamber itself, a rhythm that joins the silence, weaving calm through the walls, through the stone, through the still air. Outside, the desert night stretches on. Inside, the whispers have quieted, leaving behind only serenity. And so the guardian continues its watch, not alone, but with the presence of the gods lingering all around. The chamber has fallen into a silence so complete that it feels like the world outside no longer exists. No wind, no shifting of sand, no cry of distant creatures reaches this place. Only the steady glow of the oil lamps remains, casting faint halos of light that tremble gently as though breathing. In this stillness, the guardian cat makes its final choice of place. It rises with calm certainty and steps toward the sarcophagus. Each paw falls soundlessly, as if the stone itself has softened to receive its touch. The cat circles once, then leaps lightly upward, its body landing atop the heavy lid with perfect grace. There it pauses, settling itself at the very center of the Pharaoh's eternal bed. The stone is cool beneath its paws, but the cat does not mind. It curls slowly, deliberately, lowering its body until it is pressed against the surface. Its tail wraps close, its head lowers, and its eyes close halfway. Then comes the sound, soft, deep, and steady, the purr that fills the chamber once more. The vibration travels through the stone, humming into the sarcophagus, seeping into the inscriptions carved upon it. It is as though the cat's body has become an instrument, weaving threads of calm, not just into the chamber, but into the Pharaoh's rest itself. The pearl joins with silence, with stone, with the unseen currents of eternity. It becomes not just sound, but presence, a shield, a blessing, a lullaby. The painted walls seem to lean closer, the figures of gods and kings glowing faintly in the flicker of light. The treasures gleam with softer warmth, their gold and lapis shining, as though illuminated from within. Even the air feels different, steadier, quieter, as though every particle is slow to join the rhythm of the watch. Time, if it still exists here, stretches until it cannot be measured. Minutes pass like hours, hours like days, yet the guardian does not move. Its body is still, its breathing steady, its purr unwavering. The Pharaoh, sealed within his stone chamber, lies in undisturbed peace. The cat has become his companion, his sentinel, his protector not in life, but in eternity. There is a beauty in the simplicity of it. No struggle, no noise, no interruption, just presence. The kind of presence that endures beyond years, beyond centuries, beyond the turning of stars overhead. In this endless vigil, the cat has merged with the purpose it was chosen for. Its life has become one with the Pharaoh's rest. If one were to close their eyes here, they would feel the vibration through their own body, the slow purr, the heartbeat of the tomb. Their breath would slow to match it, each inhale and exhale lengthening, deepening, until they to join the rhythm. The mind would soften, thoughts unraveling like loose threads in the breeze. Sleep would come as gently as sand drifting across stone. The oil lamps burn lower, their light faint but steady. The chamber glows with the dim warmth of eternal twilight. The guardian cat, curled upon the sarcophagus, is more than an animal now. It is symbol, presence, eternity itself given form. And so the eternal watch continues, one breath, one heartbeat, one purr at a time. Nothing disturbs, nothing intrudes. The Pharaoh sleeps, and the guardian ensures that he sleeps in peace. The night has reached its deepest point. Outside, the stars drift in silence across the sky, their light so far, so faint, that it feels eternal. The Nile flows softly, unseen, its current moving with the patience of 1,000 lifetimes. And within the tomb, the stillness grows heavier, deeper, as though even time itself has grown tired and chosen to rest. The guardian cat remains curled upon the sarcophagus. Its body rises and falls in the slowest rhythm, each breath a tide rolling in and out. Its purr hums low, steady, constant. The sound carries through the chamber like a thread, weaving calm into stone, into treasure, into silence. If you listen closely, you can feel it joining your own breath, guiding it into steadiness. Inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale, each one slower, softer, easier than the last. The torches along the walls flicker lower now. Their flames grow smaller, bowing as though they too are ready to sleep. Their light fades from golden glow to faint ember, shadows stretching wider, wrapping the chamber in softness. The walls, painted with stories of gods and kings, blur at the edges. The figures no longer stand apart, but drift together, as if dissolving back into the quiet. Sand drifts outside, grain by grain, carried by the desert wind. Each grain falls silently, slowly, like moments slipping from the mind. Thought after thought, worrying after worrying, each one falling away like sand into the dark. Nothing needs to be held, nothing needs to be remembered. The wind carries it all away, leaving only stillness. The heartbeat of the Nile slows, or perhaps it is your own heartbeat, finding the rhythm of rest, slow, steady, unhurried. Each beat a soft echo, like water touching stone, like pour upon sand, like the hush of a temple in night. The sound grows quieter, but also calmer, each beat drawing you deeper into peace. The cat does not move. Its purr is your lullaby. Its stillness your guide. It teaches without words to be present, to let go, to rest. Just as the Pharaoh rests in his chamber of eternity, you too are invited to rest, to set aside the day and drift into the timelessness of sleep. The torches fade further. Their glow no more than faint sparks. The chamber becomes darker, softer, wrapped in a cloak of silence. Yet it does not feel empty. It feels safe, protected, watched over. The guardian is here, silent and steady, weaving peace into every shadow. Breathe again, slowly. Inhale the cool air of the desert night. Exhale the weight of the day falling away. Again, inhale, exhale. Each breath slower than the last, each one carrying you closer to sleep. The sand drifts, the torches fade, the heartbeat slows. The purr continues, steady, endless. The chamber rests, the Pharaoh rests, and you too are ready to rest. You are safe here. You are watched over. You are part of the stillness now. Let your mind loosen. Let your body sink. Let the night carry you. Sleep is waiting, just beyond the threshold, calm and eternal. The tomb is silent now. The oil lamps have burned to embers, their faint glow little more than a memory pressed into the stone. The walls, once alive with color and story, fade into shadow. The treasures gleam only softly, as though their light now comes from within. And at the center of it all, the guardian cat lies still atop the sarcophagus, its body curled, its purr steady and deep. The sound carries through the chamber like the heartbeat of eternity. It is slow, unhurried, infinite. It moves through the stone, through the air, through the silence. It moves through you. Feel it echo in your chest, a hum beneath your breath. Let it guide you. Inhale, gently. Exhale, slowly. Inhale and exhale. Each cycle softer, each one a little closer to the calm been seeking. Outside, the desert has surrendered to sleep. The dunes lie still beneath the stars, their shape softened by the drifting sand. The Nile glides onward, carrying its waters without urgency, its current like a lullaby flowing through the dark. All of Egypt breathes in the rhythm of rest. Within the tomb, nothing stirs. The cat is motionless now, yet its presence fills the space. Its purr blends with silence, becoming something more than sound, becoming calm itself, woven into the very air you breathe. You can feel it in the slowness of your thoughts, in the loosening of your body. You are no longer separate from this stillness. You are part of it. The Pharaoh rests. The guardian rests. And now you too are ready to rest. Let the weight of the day fall away, like grains of sand slipping through your fingers. Let each thought drift into the distance, softer, smaller, until they vanish altogether. There is nothing left to hold, nothing left to do. Only this moment, this calm, this silence. The chamber grows darker, but the darkness is gentle. It folds around you like a cloak, soft and protective. You are safe here. You are watched over. The guardian cat keeps its eternal vigil, ensuring that nothing disturbs the peace. You are free to drift, free to sleep, free to let go. Listen to the rhythm, purr, breath, silence. Purr, breath, silence. The pattern repeats, slow and endless. With every cycle, your body sinks deeper, your mind loosens further, your spirit rests more fully. You are carried on the same current as the Nile, steady and sure, flowing towards sleep. Rest now. Drift now. Sleep now. Each word is softer than the last, each one dissolving into silence. Rest, drift, sleep. The sounds blur, fading, until they are no more than whispers. Rest, drift, sleep. The cat is still. The Pharaoh is still. The night is still. And so are you, Let yourself go. Let yourself rest. Let yourself sleep. Silence, stillness, peace.